design is not really a career choice, it's a lifestyle choice.
Coming from a very middle class family with
Yeah.
no financial backup, no knowledge about industrial design, people need courage to pursue this.
2 or 3 years of experience, I had none.
That 4 to 7 exist, but 7 to 17 also exist because we both are from the second.
हेलो फ्यूचर डिज़ाइनर्स, मेरा नाम है देवांश गोयल एंड आई एम ए डिज़ाइन स्टूडेंट फ्रॉम DTU यानी कि दिल्ली टेक्नोलॉजी यूनिवर्सिटी। तो आज का जो एपिसोड है इज़ नॉट just a conversation between two industrial designers. It's a conversation between two of my best seniors.
Both of them have won a lot of design challenges as well as awards. Both of them have interned internationally.
बट आज की कॉन्वर्सेशन को सुनने के बाद आई गॉट अ लॉट मोर इंस्पायर्ड जितना मैं पहले था। तो आज का पॉडकास्ट किन किन लोगों के लिए है? फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल जो अभी स्कूल में है एंड दे आर फिगरिंग आउट डिज़ाइन फील्ड्स, इंडस्ट्रियल डिज़ाइन या प्रोडक्ट डिज़ाइन क्या होता है। सेकेंड, उन लोगों के लिए है जो डिज़ाइन कॉलेज में ऑलरेडी हैं एंड प्रोडक्ट डिज़ाइन के बारे में और जानना चाहते हैं या फिर उसका क्या स्कोप हो सकता है उसके बारे में उन्हें और जानना है। थर्ड थिंग, इफ़ यू आर कन्फ्यूज्ड इन UX UI और प्रोडक्ट डिज़ाइन या फिर इंडस्ट्री में आपको जॉब नहीं मिल रही है, समझ नहीं आ रहा क्या करना चाहिए, दिस पॉडकास्ट इज गोइंग टू बी अ लॉन्ग वन। तो सिट टाइट, रिलैक्स
And enjoy the episode.
Thank you, Devansh, for having us over. I mean, we were quite excited to do this, and we always wanted to do this. You know, put a document or something that goes that goes well documented and acts as a reference point for somebody who's joining DOD, DTU, or who's starting their industrial design career. So yeah, I hope both of us are like quite excited to do this project. This being the first project.
It doesn't specifically mean that you are going to join DODs, DTU DODs. So it means like if you are just a newbie or just starting out as your design student career, it is like a general thing or I would say some helpful pointers which we will try to put in this video. So yeah, I would say it's all for the general audience, general design student. Yeah.
True. So maybe we could start with quick introductions. Maybe Sshlok, you would like to go first, and yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm Sshlok Mishra. I am right now working as an industrial designer at Uppercase. Uppercase is basically, I won't really say it is a startup, but it is more like a new company which has like made its foundation in this industry of bags, suitcase, trolleys, and all. So I'm one of those few members of the design team which are just trying to make something very new out of those limited resources and trying to create something new in this very visual noisy industry. So I graduated in 2023, same batch as Anshuman's, and I was like we were from the second batch, the second new batch, which was like from 2019 to 2023, and of course we are from DTU, so we will point this out very often. We are from DTU, DOD, and all. So please bear with us, and we have specific.
That's where we come from. So yeah, thanks for your introduction. This is Anshuman. I am from DOD as well, trained as an industrial designer, and started a job at Bosch as an junior industrial designer. It's very exciting. I got to work on some really cool projects there, but it's time to move on. So also I'm in middle of something. I've quit my job and I'm trying to find a new one. Yeah, I keep making a lot of mistakes. My entire journey of 4 years of college and a bit of time in the industry that I've had, I've made plenty of mistakes. So I feel that's where, I mean, that's the reason I like to chat more because I have so much to share and so much to do's and don'ts that you shouldn't be doing. Yeah, so let's get or take a deep dive into how both of us started our journeys, mistakes that we made, some lessons that you can learn. Yeah, let's get straight into it. So, why do you believe, or what do you feel about industrial design as a career, Shlok? Or why do you believe somebody should even get into this?
like before answering this question, I think this is sort of those heavy questions which you have to answer, but it's for me it was like it might sound philosophical and poetic, but it was like a inner call when you think that like this is a particular thing which you think you can do for the rest of your life, and that too, like I was going to be an aeronautical engineer from UPES Dehradun. I
Yeah.
started I even enrolled in the university, started my batch in 2018. Like in just the span of these 3 4 months, I realized that design is the thing which I want to do, and like it has a very old school story. I won't go into that, but yeah, overall I somehow knew that design was the thing which I wanted to do. I dropped out, and I just prepared for UCED. I applied, didn't got very best of the results, but now that I see it, I think that was for the best, and I specifically think that I was lucky, and I'm happy if I can say it as of now, and I was a part of DoD's growing or the foundation batches, and we sure did make some mark. We also, I hope, also helped some of our juniors to go into the industry, help them to do some projects, understand industrial design way better than what we were understanding at that time. So yeah, this is like it's more of like if you need to know what is industrial design, and if you think that this is it, then you just need to take that leap of faith, and trust me, this is one of the most rewarding careers you can really go into. You can design stuff like it's like a dream sort of thing. You can do anything in the on the design section, and people will use it, and you get paid for that. So what's the harm? And like it can't really be a simple answer to this question. It has to be somewhat like very subjective, very personalized. So this is from my end. I would love to hear what you think. Why this is a career option, or why industrial design and all.
Hmm. Yeah. Uh, for me, I think industrial design was the most natural choice of career I could have. And I relate to this line quite strongly that design is not really a career choice, it's a lifestyle choice. So, you know, unlike other fields, when you choose a career, maybe you have a 9 to 5 job and then you have your own personal life. So, if you are like one of the best and super passionate about industrial design, then chances are very, very high that it becomes your lifestyle. After five, there is no turn off switch.
Really
It's
need to be passionate if you want to be an industrial designer, specifically in India.
Yeah, in India definitely, and that's the case. Like all of the designers that I've met, they live design even in there. So all of your like choices, your clothing choice, your dressing sense, your
It
home
it is
decor,
present consciously. You just need to find it.
yeah, and home decor and whatever. Like even the stationery that you buy. So I wouldn't just go around buying anything. I would. It has to be black and white. It has to be minimal. That kind of keeping that apart, like for me it was quite natural because of course I sucked at maths and I never wanted to do engineering, but I still wanted to build something of my own. I had that craze right from when I was a kid to build, be very hands-on, play with cardboard, build cardboard castles, tear down toys. I never really played with toys. I played much more tearing them down and seeing what's inside. So that made me even more sure that yeah, I'll get to build products, and what's better than that? There is. I mean, a lot of time people ask me if there was any other choice, that career choice that you would take, and I'm like, no. If it wasn't design, then I wouldn't be sure if I would like to do anything else. So keeping that aside, I mean, this is my motivation. This is how I got to know about industrial design. I read a lot of books. I read about industrial designers when I was ninth standard or 10th standard. Of course, I didn't know a lot about it, but I still knew the term and what goes into doing it. At the same time,
Yeah.
I was very unsure. But coming to the question whether industrial design is for you, or even important, much better question is what is industrial design? And so thing is, it's not really a new field. I mean, at least in my family, I get introduced that he has done, like the field that he chose is very, very new. Opportunities are very limited, and I always like to correct them that it's not a new field. It's been there decades since decades. But yeah, it's very niche. It's as niche as I am the only guy who can do my job at my company, which has somewhere around 3,000 employees in that particular campus. Because it's a team of two industrial designers, and I'm the only guy who is good with visualizations. So yeah, that's how niche
Pretty
it
sure
is.
that, I'm pretty sure that the designers are like you can just make out that these are the industrial designers or these are specifically designers just from their outfit or the way they talk or the way they behave.
That's very
It's
true.
it's like design is in your veins, in your blood.
Yeah,
It's like you find
it's
it in
like
every.
yeah,
Yeah,
I guess from the mechanical team or engineering counterparts, they are like absolutely, sharp and super crazy guys, but they sort of envy because the kind of clothes that we get to wear or the amount of how do I say, forgiving managers we have is far better. Like because they have to be in a very formal setting and we don't, so they're like, "That's a very nice shirt, but I cannot wear it to my office." So yeah, that happens. But coming back to industrial design, yes, as you said, it's a very rewarding choice of career when it comes to expressing your creativity. Like other creative fields, either the stakes or risk are even for industrial design the risks are quite high, but here you get rewarded pretty soon, pretty well if you are passionate, if you just put in the right amount of hard work which is needed. So
yeah.
that's true. Of course, the charm. Again, I would like to say this: that if you are an industrial designer working for your dream brand, it's nothing less than working alongside Christopher Nolan on his film set, and getting to see the entire movie being made right in front of you, while the rest of the world is has no idea or nothing. They only get teasers until the movie is launched.
Going into those very specific needy answers, I think most of them will get confused. So I need to stop you because I guess you have already like said it very clear that what was specifically your interest and reasons as to
Mm.
why you chose this field. And like I guess everyone can make out that his answer was like design is in his everything. So he's quite passionate even in his answer. So yeah. Yeah, that, I guess if they are looking for a brief answer, it might suffice.
Yeah, I mean, brief answer. I would just say if you like building things, if you want to put your stuff out there in the world, industrial design is the way to go. Of course, engineering choices and a lot of a product is never really made by an industrial designer himself. There is engineering team as well. But if you want to build some, you're not really are too technical, but you still have that creative knack and you can sketch out ideas, you can think of something wild. Please, do get into this. Of course, look into details, look into course, and if it's really for you, reach out to us. We'll try to help you and gauge whether you are cut for it. So yeah, that's very important. But be aware, read a lot, and in short, it's a very creative field. You get to build products, all sort of products. Get to work with crazy brands. Some of them are like legendary. So yeah, that's the charming bit of it. We already answered what is industrial design and more or less why industrial design. What else could a 11th standard or 12th standard kid think about industrial design?
From what I used to think, coming from a very middle class family with
Yeah.
no financial backup and knowing like no knowledge about industrial design, even if there was this 6 years back,
Yeah.
it was there, like the knowledge was there. But right now, it's like way more what we used to have at that time. So I feel people need courage to pursue this as
Totally.
a lifetime field. People need knowledge, and you also need to know that this field pays you well if you are a good industrial designer.
Yeah.
Uh,
Food is very important.
yeah, and specifically this what we used to say in our time, like this 99% of the people, the crowd goes into engineering, like
Yeah.
Indians, majority of Indians. Engineering, doctors, lawyers, these are the very broader field of what we think is a life we can choose from. But there are a lot more niche sectors where we can focus on, and just we just need to know, we just need to have that knowledge that this field exists, and industrial design is one of those fields where you feel that if a product, if a dress, if something you see and you don't really feel that this might look a little better if you just tweak this or tweak that in your mind.
Hmm.
If this is how you think, I think industrial design is a
Yeah.
field where you can really make your name, where
True.
you can, yeah, like you can really make out in the crowd who
Hmm.
are industrial designer, or not really specifically industrial designer, who are designers and who are engineers, lawyers, and all. Like it's really, as you said, Anshuman, it's really in the lifestyle.
Hmm.
It's in the personality. It's in the mindset. It's in everything.
Yeah.
And if people like students, specifically students, are watching this, try to find out what you want to do. If not industrial design, then why not? And if industrial design, then why industrial design? If
Minus.
you
Yeah.
have those answers clear in your mind, I am assuring you that there's no stopping. Like there's no stopping you. This is a very solid career you have in front of you. You just need to enroll in a university,
Yeah.
get a degree, work on your portfolio skills, and then like it's
You,
similar
you
as we
you made it
doing.
sound very easy. Get into a college, build a portfolio, and you're done there. But it's not the case.
I already told you that passion is the only thing we need.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, taking that, I mean, the way that you said it, for a middle class student or a middle class guy trying to get into this field, no matter what stage you are in, as in you are a school student or you are somebody who has already done a bachelor's and you are going for a master's, the question sort of lurks around that, at least for a while, for a couple of months, that will I be able to leave a good mark, and will this field be rewarding enough for me, like provided that you put in a lot of effort, you meet all of the checklists that is required, you build a killer portfolio, and will you still succeed? So thing is, no, I mean, we can't really tell you that if you'll succeed or not. It completely depends on you. Secondly, this field demands you to be individual. If you are somebody else, if you do not have your own style, chances are that you would not be as successful. But in terms of being somebody who's middle class, somebody who has a lot of questions, at least I had when I joined college, I had a lot of questions, and the first thing that I asked my parents and also to myself is when I got the admission, when the fee was paid, and when everything was done, and I was supposed to start my first day. Um, the question troubled me that will I be able to earn good enough money, because I knew it's a very niche field, and at least in India you don't get paid well. Like the average salary would be 4 to 7 lakhs, which is not a lot.
And uh, this is somewhat true. Okay, like you will get paid 4 to 7 lakhs in India as an industrial designer. This is somewhat true, but there is also some section which gives you an income of like if 4 to 7, then there is this 7 to 17. So and just like starting.
Yeah.
So it's true that 4 to 7 exist, but 7 to 17 also exist because we both are from the second section. So yeah,
So
and that too, I would just like to highlight this point that we are from this college known as DTU, Delhi Technological University, which you might not have even heard of,
yeah.
and it's completely fine because we get to know about like this in university when we applied for UC, when we checked our marks, and we then thought why don't we just get enrolled in this university because it's a government one, that
Mm.
too having this legacy of 50 years in
Yeah.
engineering specifically. And we were the very like second batch of that in design
True.
department. And yeah, if we are here, I guess anyone can be like
True. Yeah, that's. I think you have two very best examples coming out of DoD who are middle class, at least
at
to
least from
start.
that section.
Yeah, and to start with, and we just knew we wanted to make an impact, but we were from a very, I won't say average. It's something. It's a very new department. It's growing. So of course, we had no connections to the industry. Nobody knew us, and if you don't know a university or a college or a design school, since industrial design is like a very closed community, everybody knows everybody. So nobody knew us there. So for us to make a mark in the industry, get our first internship, it was equally challenging. But we still made it. I mean, we still made it, and there are a lot of colleges who are at the higher end, and their average placement records aren't too great at all, or even the portfolios aren't great at all. So having invested those 4 years, putting that trust in ourselves, of course, you have to sacrifice a lot to get there. Um, but we still made it, and so can you. So if it's a question of whether you can make an impact, because you have limited resources in terms of financial, or in terms of finances, then our questions would then my straight answer would be that we did it, so can you.
Uh, like the way you are answering this question and the way you are molding it, I would also like to add a question to this. Uh, is graduating or getting enrolled in NID and IIT the only way to be a successful industrial designer or a successful designer? Or and more section to this question, what is it like to be DTU versus IIT and NID? Is there a thing like this? And if there is, who's the winner or who might be like taking a lead in this
Yeah.
section?
Of course, I said it's a new department. It's very, very new. We were the second batch who passed out. So, of course, to be very honest, faculty is very young. They too don't know a lot of stuff. And for a fresh department to start out in a legendary or at least university which is 50, 60 years old, it requires a lot of inertia, a lot of moving things around. So it's difficult. Keeping that aside, I would say, I mean, if I had to do it all over again, I would still choose DoD because I got a lot of chance to work on myself.
You
Whereas
got a time to work on yourself.
lot of time, and if you it doesn't really matters if you're from NID or some of the top league colleges, because thing is they're old. I'm not really challenging their way of teaching. They're the best, and I wish I had a chance to go there. But thing is, it absolutely doesn't really matter. There are a lot of pass outs from NID who have um, not so good enough work. It's in
I
terms of
can also say this, like from my knowledge, what I know, that in 2023, when we graduated, I don't think, and also I don't know if there is, but at like the salary which Anshuman is earning, it might be way more than what that industrial designers from NID bachelor section is earning. You can even target masters. I don't know if they are in working in India, but like specifically those industrial designers who are working in India.
yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that there might be a lot of students which graduated from NID and IIT and are still unplaced.
True. I mean, maybe I'll come to my current package a bit later, once we take into the question of how well your portfolio should be. But just to roughly tell you that, the job or the job title that I have and the position that I have, I said junior designer, but in terms of Bosch world, it's quite senior position, and they only offer this position if you are, or if you have at least 2 or 3 years of experience. I had none. Like I literally had zero experience, just a couple of internships here and there, and I
Yeah.
still got that. So if you, like I say, like if you have a very strong portfolio, and
I also joined this company where I'm working right now. It's only because they didn't really need a junior industrial designer. They wanted someone like assistant design manager. So I took this position because it's a very new company. So they are experimenting a lot. And also because of the role and package. So yeah.
so that's how it is. Like you can still bend the rules if you work really really hard on yourselves. But again, coming back to starting the design journey, if you get into college, of course, when you're writing UC, aim for the best college that you can get. That could be NID. I mean, NID, you have to write a different paper, but it could be IT Bombay, or even I had that. I had to go to IT Bombay, but I couldn't score well,
Everyone
and
who seed wants to go to
yeah,
ID Bombay.
true. I mean, I couldn't score really well, and for me, I knew that I'm sort of a person who can't really sit steady for 1 year, wait, and then reapply. So I was like, whatever I get, I'll go ahead, and I would like to focus more upon my portfolio, like to focus more upon my college life, build a strong career there on. So yeah, I was. I mean, I was aware that I won't really get a lot of privileges in DoD, and I will have to work really hard. But that's the case across any college that you join. I joined the college, but first 2 months I was super disoriented. I mean, I was questioning whether I made the right career choice, and soon I realized that college plays a very little role or very small role. It gives you an opportunity, brings like-minded folks in one single space. So essentially, college just offers you a building, a nice, fertile environment to sit, work on yourself, nothing else. Like if you're really expecting anything more, no matter which college you are in, you are not being a realist or you're not being realistic. So for me, it was the best was that I got a couple of friends who had the same passion, and we all could be together and literally work on ourselves in the last 4 years. And that's the only advice I would give once you have joined a college. Like you should aim for the best, but even if you don't get started with your career and work on your portfolio, because even if you're from NID and your portfolio isn't good enough, you won't get accepted. It's
Yeah.
it's
Also, want to highlight one point why we always are mentioning DOD or DTU specifically. It's also because we didn't really had this placement drive
yeah,
or actions or any alumni because we were the second batch, and the batch which were like graduating above us was I don't know if they were any industrial designers, or
none.
if they were, don't I'm pretty sure that they were not really pursuing it as a professional field. They shifted towards other design domains because of
Other would
how.
be UI UX.
Yeah, we'll come
We'll
to
come
it
to that.
after. But
But
yeah,
I think our seniors did a pretty great job. I mean, DoD at least. A lot of my colleagues are UI UX designers, and they have a huge respect for Department of Design in terms of UI
yeah,
UX. And
yeah.
yeah,
Like specifically UI UX, our seniors were like super cool in this term. But like also I wanted this to highlight that we didn't have any resources. The faculty was very good, but it's not like the best. Uh, what we got was a lot of time to work upon ourselves, and the ones which were very disciplined made out. uh, I can say that we were disciplined now that we have been graduated, and so this is the sole reason why we are always emphasizing DoD and DTU, why we are always targeting IITs and NIDs, why having those resources, those privilege, those alumni networks, and still not being able to earn this much or not being able to get a job. That is
mm,
the difference. That is the reason I am highlighting that if a person from DOD can do it, you can do it from any private college, any
true.
non famous, non recognized college. You just need to put out work. You just need to focus on yourself. And yeah, if you need help, of course, we both are there. You just need to poke. You just need to
True.
poke. And yeah, when you need help, just throw out your ego. You just need to ask. You want to grow. You need. If you want to grow, you just need to remove your ego from that.
That's a
Mm, yeah. So
pretty good advice. But again, I would like to say, of course, throw your ego out. And I feel if you want something, if you want to be somewhere, uh, there is no way you can do it all by yourself. You have to reach out to people for help. You have to reach out to people. Hey, can you take a look at my portfolio? Offer me internship. But the ego also has to go from the other side. People who are in the industry, who are professional. There are a lot of times when my mails got, I mean, they were unanswered, and uh, so I would
yeah,
say the same. Like if you are a professional and if you have reached to a good level, at least hear them out. At least give a look to your portfolio. Of course, if they are not really good enough, you can straight away say no. But if they are good enough and you have that
even if they
power,
are very like it's like they don't even stand a chance. I still feel that you should write a reply, even though
uh,
it's like a one liner. It's 2 words, 3 words.
mm,
Just write it because it will give them hope that okay, this person responds, they'll work hard,
true,
maybe they'll work
true.
hard and then come back to you. Because if you never respond, specifically Indian designers, this is what I'm trying to say,
Yeah.
because I've seen that European or other Asian designers,
Mm,
even though they are like the head of designs or something like that, they always reply. They
yep.
always reply most of the times. I'm not talking about all of them, but most of the times. And it's the very opposite in India. It's like
Yeah.
even the interns working in a company, they won't
Won't
reply.
be replying. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's the fear of competition, but of course, if you're a senior, you don't really have to fear a new guy getting in.
I
Or you
guess
could
those,
offer.
like, I really feel that people who fear other students or other industrial designers in India really need to work upon their skills,
Skills or
specifically.
yeah, or it's maybe just I mean, please give somebody new a shot if they are good enough. For me, like my story is full of dropping cold mails. I think my inbox is filled with 1,000+ cold mails. That's how I got
We
every
both,
single
we
internship.
that we both have been
Yeah,
here because of the cold emails and all.
cold emails.
Also want to highlight one more point. Those who don't really know, Anshuman was the only Indian to work with BSH Siemens Munich, and he. Uh, it's a long story that how he got there, how he just enrolled after graduating. But yeah,
Nobody's supposed to
he,
know that.
yeah, like yeah, but still, like it's a great story, and I would also like to tell them that a person coming from this unknown university, working with BSH Siemens or this world recognized design studio company at Munich, that too with a visa which they personally helped him to acquire. It's not like he already had a Germany visa, European visa. And
Yeah,
yeah, and so that is what I'm trying to say. He has achieved it. You might even surpass him. If not
even
surpass, you might even just come close to him. It's like there are endless opportunities. You just need to work on yourself and not just focus around that. Oh, I didn't really got into NID or IIT Delhi, IIT Bombay. It's like I'll take a year drop and then work upon myself. Come on, man, like you, there is so much to work, so much to achieve, and you are still focusing on that college part. Of course it's important, but if you're not able to get into it, take another college. Don't waste your years. Work upon yourself. You will
uh,
surpass it.
but I'm not the only one. I think there was just two of us who, at least in terms of industrial design, who moved out and did their final year internships abroad. You are also one of them. So Shlok was part of Bosch Power Tools as an intern for 6 months in Stuttgart. And yeah, I mean, your story is pretty much same, I think, and both of our stories of moving abroad, get that global exposure, also highlights upon that. At least my application was solely through cold mails. I reached out to literally everybody in the BSH across all brands, and all of them replied. At least they replied, "Hey, your work is good enough, but we don't have a vacancy. Maybe this department can hire you."
You had this cold mail story, and mine was like an application among the swarms of thousands of applicants all around the world, and somehow, like, still somehow they chose me, and they even wait, like they were ready to wait to have me on board for a
Yeah,
year. And this is the, like, I know this because they told me that they only did it once. And yeah, so it all boils down to one thing, that if you want something, if you have this the desire, and if you just work towards it, it will happen. It might take some time. It might be, there will be a lot of ups and downs. Of course, it's like the default setting of life. It will have it,
yeah,
but you will achieve it.
true. You will, and it didn't happen somehow. Your portfolio was among the best, at least in India. It's one of the top portfolios, or it's very hard to miss. If you know the community, you know his portfolio. That's what I would say. So yeah, this is how you can go about your college life. You can have goals and you can meet them. You can have a checklist, and at least I have a bucket list that I have to check before I turn 25. And it all works out for me. I always say, and sometimes even I feel that I miss my college life, but it's a good bargain. I bargained my college life for a very strong portfolio, and that rewarded me. How many of you get to say that you had your first beer at
But
Oktoberfest in Munich?
you were in Delhi, na, while you were doing your college university thing, and you didn't really got a lot of time to go to clubs and to discover Delhi. But at the very same time, in the final year, when people were graduating from our college and discovering Delhi, or just doing the same things for that 4 years over and over again,
Mm.
you were there exploring European countries, Rome, Italy, and whatnot. So I guess it all
22
paid.
and in Paris. Yeah,
Yeah,
so like I say, it's rewarding, right? If you believe in something, if you and there is just only one way: build your portfolio, nothing else. Like in
yeah.
those 4 years, just build your portfolio, and that's the only asset you need, and that's the only asset which will take you further. Nothing else, like literally nothing else.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can do that, and both of us have that experience. Both of us are even in the industry now that we are full-time designers. We are still trying to make a mark, working for two different completely different brands, but still, leaving a lot of mark in the studios that we are. At least I keep hearing stories about you from somebody or the other, and also from your Bosch colleagues who were there during your internship. So yeah, once you get into industry, if you are good enough, if you are hardworking, definitely you will leave a mark. A lot of people are gonna know you, notice you.
So I want to break this fourth wall. If you want help, we are here to help. But if you really don't want it, we won't even entertain. It's like we will give you our portion of time, our this specific personal lives time which we get on the weekends. We are ready to spend it with you, share it with you by guiding you, even if it's just for some small sort of resultant thing. But if you really don't want it, I don't know what will happen.
Yeah, it's very hard. Like it's at least during college, I was kind of a guy who would do things on his own. I was like, hey, I'll learn it myself. I'll do it myself, and my portfolio has to be 100% me. I see a lot of portfolios where it's like, it's a nice project, but then you notice it's done by four guys over 4 months of time. In my portfolio, I decided that hey, every single project I'll do it, even if it's shitty, even if the prototypes aren't too good, even if the renders are too good, I'll still do it on my own. But I think second year or around second year, I realized no, it's that's a good way to go. But you still need friends around. You still need a lot of mentors around to guide you, to help you. And it's I don't know. I don't know how I would have
Yeah,
done it if I had
one
no mentor.
filter, I guess it will get just mixed up in the answer is that you need a lot of dedication, motivation. But there were a lot of times when both me and Anshuman were like so low. We weren't really getting replies from a for our code mails and all. We applied to these sort of internships in India, but we never got replied because there are a lot of companies which has this tie up with good
So
design
yeah,
colleges, universities. Uh, but yeah, it's not like it's the end, and we still kept working upon the projects. Like whenever I was feeling low, I always saw him working on his already done project, which I thought was good enough, but he kept on revamping it, doing it in a better way, which ultimately made me feel that like if he doesn't really feel satisfied he's doing it, so why not me? I did it the same way. Like I was also just grinding and all. This might sound very movie stuff thing, but this is real because we knew that we didn't really have any financial backup. We didn't have work hard.
work hard, work hard. There is no shortcut at all. But yeah, I would again maybe I would try to emphasize as
There is,
much as I can.
sorry, there is a shortcut. I have seen some people in India having this. I can say it out loud now. I don't really care. They have this crap portfolio, this crap skills, so bad that I think I was having better skills in my second year, with like what they have in their fourth year or after graduation. And they were like working in one of the India's best design firms, even though as an intern or what. And there were people out there, students out there, which were like having this so better of this portfolio personality and all, but were not really able to get it because they didn't really have the connections, recommendation and all. So there is this way of getting yourself a good alumni network or having this. It works and it's completely fine because this is also a way to get into the industry.
It is. I
It
mean,
is
if you are from a college that has a very strong alumni network, I think that's an advantage that you get.
Yeah.
But to be honest, like I don't really see such portfolios or people with such portfolios doing so well after a year or two in the industry. They sort of leave this realm of industrial design or industrial design specific efforts and move towards more of management, design management, and stuff like that. So, even in that sense, for a short span of time, you might feel that they are better than you, and you might feel, hey, I pushed in and did a lot of hard work, still I didn't make it. But in the longer run, chances are higher that you will leave a much larger impact, uh, you know, through your hard work or efforts.
We focus a lot upon the motivation side and what we need to do for grinding and just making our name out there. But there is this very important question I think people need to know: why most of the industrial designers, by coming to their graduation thing,
They
from
switch
first
to
they somehow switch to this user experience or user interface design.
side.
And why does this always happen? And is it true that UI UX designers get paid more uh, in India because global is different? And why do they like shift? And I specifically want your answer because you have this experience of UX also. You have seen how it works. You have worked with people more than what I have seen or what I've worked. So
Mhm.
you know both the aspects. So it will be way better than what you answer because I have this very strong biased answer and I really don't want to give it. So
I'm not sure. I mean, if you say so, but even I'm not the right person. That's the reason is because I never really liked anything apart from industrial design. But the thing is that I did not attend any of the visual design or interaction design classes. That with I never really attended them, quite honestly. I was just there, sitting somewhere in the back. I never really did the assignment seriously because I knew visual design is not for me. Interaction and stuff is not for me. And there was this time when you had to speak about a contemporary artist in a classroom lecture, and presentation said minimum 15 minutes. So I was like, this is my chance. And I sort of exploited that brief and spoke for 2.5 hours. And yes, after that day, I had sort of a settlement with my visual design faculty that hey, it's okay if I don't attend the classes and put in average assignment, and he still gave me B for almost 2 semesters, and I was happy. So that's where I come from. I don't like anything else apart from industrial design, but at the same time, I had a very strong hold in terms of experience design or research or UX research. So speaking from that viewpoint, I would say for me, I do doubt it, like whether I should switch or not, whether I should switch to UX and make 10 times the money I would be, or not 10 times, twice the money that I would be making in industrial design. And, again, coming from the same mindset that, hey, you need a lot of financial resources. The question did come. But again, for me, the passion, the fulfillment that industrial design brings was far, far more than what money could have brought to me. So again, it sounds very motivational, sounds very ideal sort of a situation, but that's how it was. But coming to the question again, why do you switch? So the thing is, you know yourself better. There is nothing wrong in shifting, or there is nothing wrong in going to UI UX. Of course, sometimes I like to look down upon people or friends who switch, and I was like, hey, you wanted to do in that, but there is nothing wrong. It's college is good for years of figuring yourself out. I figured myself out, and I know
it's
that.
your time, it's your choice, but just don't shift from ID to UX because of money and job. If you have the passion, keep it because most of the industrial designers shift to UX UI because they lack the passion
Select the
and
passion.
also this discipline that they won't be able to make it in the industry. And I really feel so pity and bad because they had so much of caliber, but they just don't believe in this themselves. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's their choice. I'm no one to point it out.
True. It's their choice. Of course, you know yourself better. You know your skill sets, and if you think you can leave far more impact, have a more fulfilled career in terms of UI UX, go for it. But again, you should also experiment a bit because UX or UI, at least UI design in India, is designing for that 6 inches of screen, and it's not beyond that. You will only be designing apps, web interfaces, and if you're somebody who likes tangible stuff and also digital stuff, and this is how we are moving towards this is how the predictions are that even if I am an industrial designer, I can't really say that I only do physical goods. I do need to know about digital side of it, the experience bit of it. So even industrial designers have to, yeah.
Yeah. Uh, you, I think that people now have this gist of why people shift, but there is this very important question, like the number of jobs and the amount which they pay in India. Is it more than industrial designers? Like both in terms of jobs, are there more jobs and are they like paying more than industrial designer, or is it just like most of the industrial designers get less paid, and that is why the reason it's
I'll
happening?
break the answer in two halves. First, let's understand how India works, and we are not really a hardware economy at all. I mean, we are building and shipping a lot of hardware products, but those are very limited number of brands. So that means very limited number of vacancies you have for industrial design. But at the same time, we are a very strong software economy. Like pretty much every other software company has one of their global headquarters or a very strong presence in India because we ship a lot of software projects. And if you have software, there are far more opportunities for you to be a UI designer. So of course, UI design is in terms of opportunities, it's a lot, and that has something to do with how the whole market is. But it's not like there are zero opportunities or there are limited opportunities, but there are still good opportunities in industrial design that pay you quite well. Coming to the second part, the pay. I mean, why do you get paid too much as a UX designer? So thing is, money keeps flowing in, but you will still have to be the best. You still can't. You can be a UI UX designer and be average and get good pay, but even to get that, some over 20 lakhs, over 25 lakhs, you still have to be somebody remarkable, even in UX or UI design, to get that amount of pay. At least for us seniors, again, I would like to. Most of them they moved to Microsoft or Adobe, and their portfolios was absolutely killer, and that's how they got that package. That's how they got into some companies. But even in UX, I see a lot of people getting jobs which pay somewhere around. I mean, they're over this 12 lakh mark. Like they get paid more than 12 lakhs, less than 20, but they stay there. You can't really move beyond that after you are in industry and you've spent a couple of years. Even then, you can't really move. So yes, starting in, jumping in the career, you get paid a lot. But if you are somebody average, you're not remarkable. Chances are you won't really move beyond that, beyond your pay scale. Whereas in industrial design, you still can have relatively larger pay if you are truly exceptional or hardworking.
Yeah, I think you really put it in a better way than what I had in my mind, what I would have answered. So it's a good thing that I gave the mic to you. Also, let's wind up. Let's just put this last 2 cents of what you personally want to say to anyone who is watching this, irrespective of what field or what, wherever he or she is. What do you think you can say them like say to them in this 20, 30 seconds, which can impact their life or cannot? It's up to them how they take it. But what is that one thing which you really want to say as an industrial designer? The people who want to pursue it or who just want to be a designer. So yeah,
That's
what is
very difficult for a guy like me who chats a lot. I don't really get opportunities to
that's
speak
why I
much.
gave specific time frame.
A specific time frame, it's very difficult. I think the video is going to be watched by a lot of different set of audience. So if you are somebody in school and you want to get into industrial design, read a lot of. Please, okay. Change of advice. Don't read at all. Browse through a lot of YouTube videos. They're amazing industrial designers, and they have put what is industrial design, how do you do it, why do you do it, and what's to do. What's there. So if you even if you just type what is industrial design or industrial designer, chances are you'll land the right videos in a single search on YouTube. Go through all of them, see how they work. Again, reach out to people, reach out to me, reach out to him, anybody else that you know, and they should help you ideally. At least we would. um, so that's what I will say. If you are trying to get into industrial design, if you are somebody already in college, maybe you would like to do offsite. So both of us did offsite, and shout out to the community there. They have some really amazing courses for somebody who is, starting to get into industrial design, which is cohort one. They have something called cohort one. It's for somebody who's beginner, and they have a
Yeah.
cohort two, which is for somebody who's, let's say, a bit senior. You're in your final year of college or third year of college, and or maybe you are in the industry and want to polish your skills once again. So yeah, I would advise to do definitely do offsites. If you're in college, have a mentor, and by mentor I mean your friends are not mentors; they can never be. Keep your friends to be just friends. Mentor is somebody who would give you a very unbiased opinion about whatever situation you are in. He'll weigh both the options for you, and he won't impose a choice. He would rather let you make the choice by making you more aware. So if you have that person in your life, if you have somebody who is that kind of a mentor, please hold on to them. And a good mentor would also let you challenge his views. So if he doesn't let you challenge your views, then chances are, or maybe, uh, look for another mentor. What else? If you're in final year, if you're about to move away from college, please take off all of the bucket list, take off everything that you need to do, before finishing off college. No matter how hard I tried, I still am unsatisfied. I almost achieved whatever I wanted, but there is still this bit of stuff left in me that at least I could have bagged that one award, or did that.
So don't mind him. There will always be some stuff which will be left or will be unleft. So
So,
it's
so
okay.
the moral is never be satisfied with your own work. If you satisfied
Yeah.
and sit around, your work is gonna be old very soon. And if you are in the industry, try to mentor people, try to be kind, try to reach out, and of course, never stop building your portfolio. The very strong piece of advice that I got from a Korean designer who I got a chance to meet in Munich, and he said, even if you have a dream job, even if it's the job that you feel you can do for next 2 years, still sit for interviews, still keep applying. You never really know when that company would do away with you, or when you would want to move on. So he's like, I have my best job right now and I'm very stable, but I still sit for interviews, and that's my way of, keeping my portfolio polished, getting to know the industry, talking to people. So please keep applying, keep looking, and finally, if until you are 27 or 25, please don't get married to a single idea, your portfolio, a single job. People just settle in, like they settle in for a job. At least I know that I would never stick to one place, stick to
Okay.
uh, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you want to say
Uh,
something.
your 20-30 seconds turned out to be 20-30 minutes. That's okay.
I like to talk a lot. That's what I said, right?
That's why I gave you this question. ID,
And
UX,
I
UI.
and I failed miserably answering this one.
I don't think so.
Or one piece of advice.
First of all, thanks to Devansh because he put this word that we need to have this conversation. This might help people. I hope it helps people. If you need a personal type of a conversation or just a small chat, if you're having problem with any sort of decision making in this design career, I'm here, he's here, and we are here to help. So I don't really have a lot to say. I have already told you a lot that be humble, be curious. We are here to help. You will be helped. You just need to be in that mind. Don't have that ego that why would I just ask to be like
Yeah,
why should I be on the lower side? So yeah, and I hope that if this conversation helps you, it helps you in a better way, not into like making you regret that why you joined a design education or
yeah,
why UI, UX, why ID. So yeah, and thanks to listening to this. I hope.
yeah. I mean, whoever has listened to this for last 40 minutes or 1 hour, thank you, thanks a lot for listening to whatever I had to blabber, and whatever Shlok had to add a lot of valuable feedback. So yeah, it's not really the best podcast experience you'll get, but the best piece of advice that you can get from us.
If you want to see our work, Devansh will just put it into the description, I guess.
Yeah,
Both our portfolios. You can have it, like have a look at it, and I guess that will make you feel more sure that we have worked our ass off.
yeah. I mean, we know our stuff. So if we say it's,
At least
it's
at what stage we are, we know what we are doing. So
yeah.
yeah.
So true. Again, summing it up, thanks a lot for doing something like this. Maybe this becomes sort of way to connect with your alumni at BOD, and connect with a lot of young school students or students who are trying to make a mark. So yeah, we'll try to keep this maybe in the future as well. Keep this going. Thank you,
Yeah.
Devansh. Thanks a lot for having us. Thank you, Shlok. And
Yeah.
I'm quite happy that we did this. It's our first project. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. True. True.
Cool. And then definitely give us shoot us an email, message, whatever, LinkedIn, wherever. If you are in some sort of trouble or you need help,
Number, email number for help in industrial design. Nothing else.
anything else.
We are there.
True. Yeah. So thanks a lot. Cheers. Bye bye.
See you, man. Bye.
Thanks again to Anshuman Bhaiya and Shlok Bhaiya for joining us and giving us so much information about this field. You can go through their portfolios and ask for mentorship or any help.
All the links of their portfolios and social media profiles are in the description box below. Do check them out.